Hey, hello, Drippy Gang, noobs, apes, traders, everyone else. Welcome to Drippy Verse. This is your source of options drip on a daily basis, and I am Drippy. We talk about some of the most exciting setups here, based on the options flow, technical analysis, pattern analysis, macroeconomic events, and current market structure. So if you want to make some tendies, stick around. My goal is for all of you to achieve financial freedom and create life-changing wealth. So on the screen, I have my YouTube account, and it's for interacting with you folks. If you want to be like a core part of the community and discuss some of the topics in deeper, I think you might like to join my channel. We have Drip Rookie here where I post my charts, which cannot make this video. Uh, it's a good and fun way to kind of interact with me apart from Twitter. Twitter is getting crowded because of the number of followers. We're almost approaching 20,000 on Twitter. So I can't complain, but we are trying to solve the communication problem with the Discord as well. So let's go into today's charts. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor. I may hold some of these securities. You should manage your own risk and you should know when to take profit. Don't wait for my exit calls, and this is just for educational purpose. If you want a discount on usual whales, you can use my coupon code trippy2hard, which is basically my Twitter handle as well. And then you can also use the sign up link I'll post below. So let's go over today's trade. So first trade I'm going to talk about is YELP. Now Yelp has an interesting history. I was long on Yelp for a while and I thought this chart was looking really bullish because it was around here that time, and I thought it will break out, because it's like a bull flag, but it seems like it's trying to break down now, and it could be because of many reasons, like like another bad news with the whole new variant of COVID, and I thought it was a great setup for long because it looks like a head and shoulder. It was a whole flag, but now I'm starting to think that it might not be the case, because if you look at the daily chart here, it has been in this kind of consolidation for a while, and it broke down after that, right? And I mean, now this close the other day was pretty like bullish because it opened and then we saw this bounce back. It was aggressive buy here, right? So I don't know why that happened on Friday after that news broke out. Maybe market makers were trying to hedge their positions or something, but uh, it was a pretty aggressive close. So we want to keep this in mind now. Like this RSI is weak. This long consolidation broke to the downside. So this might be just be a small little like a bounce back here from this level. This was a previous demand zone right here, previous resistance acting as support here. But the reason why I'm more bearish on it is because of the flow and also because of the macroeconomic events. But you keep in mind anything can happen. Uh, this this level right here, the $34 mark here, is a key support area. Once it breaks down, the next level is 31 here, right here, right, this level here, 31 area would be the support, and right, this area would probably act as initial support, which it did because it was also this high. So it bounced off from there, right there, and if it breaks down below 31 is the target, That's $3 on this one, which is also equivalent to around 10%. So let's look at the flow here. This was on 26th, which was Friday at 10 o'clock. You saw this, someone bought $33 put when the underlying was 34. Okay, so let's go back and look at the chart. Underlying is around 34, so someone is trying to short this using options, and basically their entry is pretty solid because they literally just shorted right near 35 area, right? So the spread is a little bit wide here, 0.8 1.15, but it's not bad. And they paid a price of 1.11, which is almost near the ask. These are almost 10,000 contracts for a premium price of $1.1 million. And this is a pretty bearish looking flow. I mean, it's 100% bearish because there is no call apart from this greater than 50,000 premium here out of money, and looks super bearish, and that's the reason why I'm bearish. So anything below 34 would be a short, and I'll look for this area, first support area 32.84 right here, and then around 32.7, and then around this area around 31, and then below it it's around $30, like 29.5 to $30. So let's see what happens. If it breaks down, that's gonna be violent because this has been acting as a support for a while, and once it broke down, it just broke down, like similar to what AXP did. Once it broke down through that support, it's a nasty drawdown. And I think that might happen to YELP as well. But I mean, this is just a speculation. What I think might happen, of course, it can go the other way as well. So you should manage the risk. I think anything above 36.5, we're talking about bulls back in charge. So let's see what happens on this ticker. But so far, looking bearish on a shorter term basis. Still bullish on a weekly chart if you think about it, because it closed above this flag, so it's still proceed with caution on this one. Next one I'm gonna talk about is DWAC. This I've already talked about, not gonna go in detail, but it's just consolidating. As I told you, there are three cases: either it flushes down, either it consolidates and retests this area, which is $50, and then goes down, or it breaks down on tomorrow below this area. So key level to watch for DWAC is now right here, 39.5 to 37.5, because looks like there are buyers who are dip buying on this. We have triple bottom almost here on the daily, and but you see this candle here was not really bullish or bearish. It was an indecision candle. So it depends. So whenever you see a candle like this, how do you judge where it's gonna go? So it depends a lot on where it opens tomorrow. Let's say that it opens right here, and then it never drops below this level whole day, or someone buys the dip around 43.17. So that means there's someone buying here around this area, and then we can expect it to kind of retest maybe this area or this area, 48 or 46. And if it let's say that if it opens below this area, or if it dumps and it cannot hold this support area, which is 40.6, so basically what you can do is create your levels for tomorrow around this area right here. So if it depends on how it opens and everything, but most likely, this is how you can play this. If it breaks down below, this is a opening range breakout kind of, but on a higher time frame. So you can play it that way. So these levels, key levels, are 43 and 40.5. So keep that in mind. But in my experience, I think we might see a little bit of consolidation here, more kind of formation of a bull flag, and then it goes down. So something like this is a possibility, which will give us more opportunities like this, and then we have dump like this. That's possible. uh, what's also possible is that it just consolidates in this range here, this range here, it just consolidates and then it breaks down. And then third possibility is that it consolidates for a while and then breaks out. So there are many possibilities, but in my opinion, just given the urgency with them showing the proof for this being a valid thing, uh, and overall just like a pump and dump, it, in my opinion, it might break down. So let's watch the other charts, which I had last week. I had HUT. So HUT is approaching our buy zone now. So last week it was a previous buy zone, but it couldn't hold through this level. So now it has become a supply zone where we get sellers here. So this level is critical for it to break now, $13, for us to confirm a good swing opportunity, and it will move with Bitcoin. Um, it's approaching our, this is a megaphone, expanding megaphone pattern. This is a cup. You can also think about it as a cup and handle breakout, and then now it is a kind of like a expanding megaphone pattern, and then it's approaching right our buy zone right here around $10 to $11 mark. But we might not see it because Bitcoin is showing some strength. If the market is down, let's say next week, and it comes down here, that would be a perfect buy for us. It was also a previous high at this swing high, so it could retest that, or it can just curl up from here, creating higher high. That could happen as well. But so far the trend is to the upside, and it's looking really good for a dip buying opportunity. This is why waiting for swing is important, because we are watching this chart over 2-3 weeks now and we still haven't opened a position yet. So let's check the flow for HUT, and the flow looks kind of bearish here. They're selling calls. So what I think is happening, but these are $20 calls, so they are out of money calls. So it's like someone sharing, maybe like selling shares, selling calls against their shares, or maybe it's a covered call, or maybe someone is expecting sideways action for a while. So let's evaluate it as we go. Let's look at next one, which is coin, which is in the same family of miners. HUT is a miner, and then coin is a crypto related company where it's an exchange where you can buy and sell crypto. And I highly recommend using Coinbase because they actually are FDIC insured, unlike Robinhood. So in Robinhood, you don't even own crypto if you're not aware. Drop comments below if you want me to make a video on that Robinhood and crypto whole thing. What are my thoughts on that? So anyway, moving forward with coin here, if you look at the chart for coin now, it's at a very interesting place, similar to HUT here, and you can see that it's approaching our buy zone right here, which is around 295. Now it might not even give us the opportunity to break below 300, which is a critical level, psychological level. And also this name, it's kind of like a previous breakout point right here. It was the high, swing high, and it broke out, and now it's kind of retesting around that area. So maybe it will come here, and that would be a great dip buy. Keep in mind that we have this TTM squeeze fire to the downside, so we might see some more selling pressure until this area. Also keep in mind that one sec here, that this is the anchored VWAP from the all-time, I think not all-time low, but swing low. And you can see here that that has been acting as resistance, so it needs to clear through 311.14. And if we create it from this area, you can see that, I mean, let's just create, this was the previous swing high, right? So it could drop all the way until here, which is around 290, and that would be a perfect way placed for dip buying coin, because that would be a really good area to manage our risk against. Um, let's see how it evaluates. Coin can go either way for next week, but always keep in watch. And also the flow for coin is actually bullish, because if you look here, premium is greater, bullish premium is greater than 63%. That's what I like. And the target price is $300, which is basically around the money right now, at the money, around at the money. The highest order is 1.6 million sold put, which is a bullish signal. And also we have like 270 put, which I think this is a multi-leg order. And if you look at the PNL for this one, just real quick, not gonna go in depth on this, but this looks like someone is betting for more upside here, because they will be in loss if it goes below this area. So this is a bullish multi-leg order spread. That's, I mean, you don't have to look at everything, because this kind of tells the whole story. This is what matters the most, because this is the net delta. Apart from that, I think levels are marked on the chart. You can copy it, you can create your own levels. I think I would like it to break that 311 mark and just observe it. I mean, 311 is just 8 points, it's nothing for coin. Also look at the ATR channel for coin here. So you can see here it's below 180R. This is 180R, this green line here. You see this green here? Yeah, it's kind of a little bit faint, but it's just a drop below it, so that's kind of bearish. Next average true range, would be sorry about that. Next one would be this. Oh, I can't do it. Anyway, never mind. We'll come to that later. But yeah, so short term, I still think it can go, a little bit more. We can find more, pullback, and then move forward with it. So keep this and watch this as well, same as HUD. And then, okay, so let's move on to another one, which I'm gonna talk about, is the play of the week, which was Upstart. Now, look at the Upstart weekly chart. I'm not gonna go in depth over this, because this is like easy, I think, easy to understand. Now, I mean, this area is acting as a support trend line, first of all. On top of that, you can see here that it kind of bounced off from this anchored VWAP support, which was 8th of March 2021, which is pretty much the second, I guess, like this was the lowest point and this was the second lowest. So, and also if you look at this is acting as, these both are acting as a strong support for Upstart here. And then next thing you look here, this one is around the same, like it closed around above this. And then you look here, close above this. Then you look here, now this is the key resistance it needs to break in order for us to have some kind of confirmation that we can swing this trade, and that is around 220. So 220 is a critical level for Upstart to break, and once it does, I think we can see 250 really fast. And this is how I think you can use anchored VWAP, because moves are aggressive once it breaks through that. Maybe it will retest, maybe it will test it once, come back again to this area and then break out. That would be perfect. But who knows what happens? We don't know that. All we know is that we should have thought about this multiple ways. And this area is critical for coin, and then next level would be 228, 237, so on and so forth. um, Notice how it also bounced from this 180 200 EMA on the daily. It has not done that. I mean, this it just started, it's a newer name, so we only have data until here, but that's critical. We have a huge gap here on the upstart as well, so it can fill it. This was the most beloved name for us for a long time, almost 5 or 6 weeks and days of insanity here. So I want to see that again. That would be amazing. RSI is approaching oversold. If you look at the RSI here, you can also see it's a kind of like a wedge pattern here for RSI. So if it can break through, it might be a violent move depending on how the market is. So this one should be on everyone's watch list for next whole week. Let's move on to our next pick, which is MRNA. Now MRNA was a trade we made on Thursday and then made some really good money on Friday. Look at how it broke out with the strong volume. Everyone knows about the new COVID case. It's the talk of the town. What that means is mRNA is talk of the Wall Street. People are going to talk about mRNA, and if you talk about mRNA, everyone is going to think about buying it at this point of time. So it retested that area. It was perfect, this fib level, and now let's see if it can break through this 350. If it can, then next target is 400 here and then 450. This name is strong, this name is aggressive, this name can move big. 17%, $70 in a day. This can pay us for days. This should be on everyone's watch list. Okay, the flow for mRNA is of course bullish because everyone is expecting big money on big money bets. 66%. This is 370 call for 2023. Even if you want to narrow it down to 30 days, you can see here how's the flow, and you can see that flow has changed. So whales are putting 60 days out these calls. If even 60 days out is not bullish, that bullish. So these are long-term bets on mRNA. $500 call in 2024. The stock is at 334. I mean, can you imagine this? Someone is buying way out money calls for mRNA. That too on 12, when the stock was 334. And when you look at the price it closed was 329. So this guy is in loss already. He bought at 334. So I mean, this is big money betting on mRNA, and we want to be side of big money. And this name works really well with calls. If there are calls on mRNA, very high chance that it's gonna run. That's what it has done in the past. So let's move on to I think the last trade of what I want to talk about is XPeng, and this almost made my list for the week, the top play, but because of the whole issue with the China news and delisting of Didi, it's these Chinese names, anything can happen with them. It's a risky play, but looking at the macro, their earnings were phenomenal. They have price upgrades all the way till $70, even more, $90, I think. Don't quote me on that. And also the chart looks really good. I mean, this is as bullish as it can get with respect to any chart. You can see here breaking out of this cup. RSI is strong. Broke this squeeze, just fired here 1 point. Daily squeeze fired. Earnings were phenomenal. This broke out on a strong volume as well, 2 days in a row. and this other day it was a half day, so nothing really happened. And it's currently retesting this base and breakout area. It was basing here for a while. This whole bull flag you can call, or you can call a base. I'll call a base. Broke out of this. It's retesting it. Next is moon. We have our targets ready for this one. Every day we're gonna watch this one from now on. And if it breaks down below this area, it might retest this again, 44 area. So keep an open mind on XPEV, but in my opinion, there's more upside than downside on this one. This almost made my weekly play. And let's look at the flow for XPEV as well before we close this session. And then these are $65, $60 call. Premiums are not much, but let's look at the overall. It's 50-50 almost, so I'm not gonna say it's bullish per se, but let's observe XPEV and see what happens next, because that's a really interesting play. It can move all the way to $62, in this week itself if it decides to move. It will be a violent move. So 62 is around 18-19%. Last one I want to talk about real quick is PANW, because this is my golden goose, I think, for the next couple of months, but we'll see how it goes. It might break down, but just phenomenal, right? Chart. This looks really good. Really pretty chart. Similar name you all should watch is Zscaler. I think this can move all the way to all-time high. Earnings are coming up literally like 30th of November after close, so we'll talk about it on Twitter. And then finally we should also look at CrowdStrike, same name, broke down, similar name, not same. There are differences. Some are software companies, but the domain is security, cloud security and network security. So yeah, keep all of them in mind. Make sure you like this video, make sure you retweet the content, make sure you just spread the word. Thanks for all the support so far, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you all. Bye.